We all heard that there is one perfect Quran which has been perfectly preserved, dot by dot, letter by letter, sound by sound, and word by word by Muslim missionaries in 21st century. Yet, when we look at the physical evidence, we know there are individuals who are holding more than one copy of the Quran, which is different from other Quran, in their possession. As well as when we look at the Islamic tradition, we get to see how Muslims are divided, which is the correct version of the Quran for centuries. Let's take the example of Surah 27, verse 25. In the Hafs Quran, we've got the word for Surah 27, verse 25 is, should they not prostrate? Versus, in another Quran, Al-Layth bin Khalid's Quran, it is, oh, come prostrate. Those are two different Arabic words, and it does change the meaning of the word.
Yes, it does, sister. And we need people's attention here because it's a subtle difference on the tashkil, which is the critical marks on the words, but it does change the meaning, yes. On the left, you have the hafs. The words in question is alla yasjudu. So you could tell that it's a double L sound on the first word that I said. It means, should they not prostrate? And there's a negative, there's a not. Allah, just keep that in mind. On the right, in the Al-Layth Quran, it says Allah yasjudu. It's a lighter L sound, and it changes the meaning. It means the Allah sounds is no longer negative. It means it's an invitation. It's like saying, oh, come, a call to people, an invitation. It's like saying, oh, people. So it says, oh, come prostrate to Allah. And where you look is on top of the words, the diacritical marks are different.
And it's not only today's physical Qurans. When we look at the Islamic traditions, we see Muslims are talking about this book, which was put together by Abdul Latif al-Khalib, Mujam al-Qiraat, in volume 6, page 504 and 505. We get to see different versions of this word has been expressed.
Yes, and it lists the differences that we've had in the first slide. It says, I'll read in the Arabic, قرأ أبو جعفر والكسائي ورويس عن يعقوب وابن عباس والزهري والسلمي وطلحة وحميد الأعرج والحسن والشنبوذي والمطوعي وقتادة وأبو العالية والأعمش وابن أبي عبلة. So these are all the names, 16. ألا يسجدوا. They're all read ألا يسجدوا. That's the one with the reduced L sound, which is an invitation to prostrate. In the Arabic it says ألا هنا للاستفتاح وقالوا يا حرف تنبيه وجمع بينه وبين ألا للتأكيد وقيل للنداء أي يا هؤلاء يا قوم. Translation, ألا here, the word, is to start or to introduce. It was also said it is to alert, and it is together with Allah to confirm. It was also said it is to call, meaning, O you, O people, which is different from the Hafs. If you see at the top of the page in the red, it's should they not prostrate with a negative, another word with a double L sound, which is different.
16 different Arabic Qurans, and then other versions gives us the different versions of the word.
Correct.
And then when we move to the next slide, we get to see more examples of this word written and meaning is different.
Yes, so I've put it in the green boxes in the Arabic to show they've added a different word, a new word, sister. In the Arabic it says وَلَهُمُ الْوَقْفَ عَلَى أَلَيَا ثُمَّ الْإِبْتِدَاءُ أُسْجُدُوا بِهَمْزَة مَضْمُومة فعل أمر. Translation, and they may stop at أَلَيَا. So did you see there's a difference now? There's a ya sound added. أَلَيَا meaning oh you. Then to restart at usjudu, meaning prostrate, which is an imperative verb, meaning an order. And the hamza, which is a letter, was removed. Note, the hamza was removed for the purpose of joining the words. Next part in the Arabic, it says, قال الكسائي ما كنت أسمع الأشياخ يقرؤونها إلا بالتخفيف على نية الأمر. Translation. Al-Kisai said, I never heard the sheikhs except that they read it with a lightened pronunciation, a lightened L sound, meaning an order to bow, prostrate, or prostrate, which this is different from the Hafs Quran. So he's saying most sheikhs are actually read it with this reading sister, which is not what most Muslims read today in the Hafs.
And then, of course, we get to see this word is being used in third different way. This is the third version of the word.
Correct. So the third version that I want you to pay attention to is at the bottom of the page where I put in the pink. In the Arabic, it says وقرأ ابن مسعود والأعمش هل لا يسجدون بقلب الهمزة هاء على معنى ألا يسجدون. Translation: Ibn Mas'ud and Al-A'mash read هل لا يسجدون. Did you notice the difference? There's an H sound now at the beginning. هل لا يسجدون means come, let them prostrate. Come, let them prostrate. Changing the Hamza sound, the Hamza letter to a ha, to an H sound, for a meaning which is similar to the second variation, which is ألا يسجدون, or they prostrate, which we talked about. That's the second variation we talked about.
So far, Arabic sources are telling us Surah 27 verse 25 was used in 3 different versions in many different Arabic Qurans. First one is, should they not prostrate? Second version is, oh, come prostrate. Versus third version is, come, let them prostrate. It's not only this book talks about it, also another book by Dr. Adil Alim Salim Mahram in Mujad al-Qiraat al-Quraniya. In his book, he gives us 10 different versions of this word is being used in many different Arabic Qurans.
Yes, so this is too many for us to go through in detail, but we'll let the viewers look at all the differences. There are 10 of them, which is more than what we discussed before. Please look at the slide that Sister has on. Look at number 7 in the purple. You can see that an extra word has been inserted in the middle. Do you see? And you can, even if you're not Arab, you can see it's longer, and I've circled it in the purple. It says, ألا هل تسجدون? Now this is a question. Oh, will you prostrate? Oh, will you prostrate? So it's no longer a statement, it's a question, and they've added an extra word in the middle. And you see the difference that between this one and the one above it in the green. ألا تسجدون. Oh, people, you should prostrate. And you can see the differences again between those two and the two above them. The first word is different. The first word is halla and hala. Again, even between those, each word that is different, in between them, there's diacritical marks for each, which makes even more variations. And he's listed 10 variations here.
In the current Quran, physical copy of the Quran, we get to see 2 different versions of the same verse. And then as we go back, little bit back, we get to see Muslim scholars are talking about 3 different versions of it. And then this last book which we showed you is also put together by Al-Azhar Uni. And in this one, we get to see 10 different versions of the same verse. It comes from question mark to order to invitation. Of course, Allah knows best which one's supposed to be in it. It's not only Arabs are talking about this, also the book which was recently translated, put together by Muslim missionaries, Bridges translation of the 10 qirats of the Noble Quran. When you go to the Surah 27 verse 25, you will see at the footnote, it tells us Al-Qasai's Quran, Abu Jafar's Quran and Ruwai's Qurans are showing this verse in different versions. Today's physical Qurans contains different version. Muslim scholars are giving us 3 options for 16 different Arabic Qurans, as well as many other options. And then another book which gives us 10 different versions of one verse. Lots of different Qurans, lots of different versions. Of course, we want to know what would you put into empty Musaf, since it does change the meaning of the word.
It was a very true statement. Whoever said it's not a simple yes or no, I would not know which one to put out of the at least 10 versions that I know on a blank mushaf.